Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he's got nothing on this exclusive. I'm happy to announce Scarlet Nexus 2. And you're like, oh, and then Crash comes out going, that's great, but you know what's better? Crash Team Rumble. And then the Chick Hydrobot comes out of his hibernation, and then we're like, yeah, Conference of the Year. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the HGO podcast. I'm one of your hosts today, Ethan, and joining me as always are my good friends, Kyle.
Hello.
And Hunter. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing just swell.
I don't know what to say, really. I've just seen Spider-Verse, that's what I'll say. Fuck you
Hell
all.
yeah.
I just saw Spider-Verse, and it was that good. I wanted to see it again and just avoid this show. I just didn't want to record. I was like, you know what, just send me back into the theater. I know it's closing.
You telling me you didn't want to be here for the inaugural episode of Quarter Circle Forward?
Yeah, no, I was like, I was sitting there and I was like, you know, I've got to go home. I've just seen peak cinema and I have to go home and I have to see bleak podcast of Fighting Game Talk. Like, it's like, oh no, I'm out of my comfort zone. But no, how are you guys doing?
It can't be
It's
much
been
bleaker than last week.
Last week.
We had we spent 2 hours complaining about the PlayStation show.
What
Oh, yeah.
was last week? Who knows? I don't. I wasn't there. We put so much love and effort into this podcast, I swear. We do every once in a while.
Yes, I swear, whenever we hit stop recording on an episode, it's gone.
I think
It's
what
out of my
people I
brain.
think what people don't understand is it's like a 4-hour process for us most of the time, because there's like an hour and a half of preamble where we're not recording, then we record, and then there's like an hour or so afterwards where we're not. So it's like it's very hard for us to realize
remember
what's
what
on
we've
film,
actually
yeah,
said in the recordings, and
or
what
just
we
which
said
parts were actually
elsewhere.
part of the podcast and which were just us hanging out. It's always hard to kind of differentiate it, though. But no, Spider-Verse is very good. Go and watch it, because it was like peak cinema, dude. I regretted I never saw the original on like at the cinema. I saw it on Blu-ray like when it came out, and I always regretted it. And after seeing it in cinema, I'm like, yeah, go watch that in cinema, because it's great, dude. Way better than all the shit we talked about PlayStation last week. I tell you that much, dude. That's how you fill an hour, dude. An hour and a half. That's how you fill it. That's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, this week Street Fighter 6 is out. We're going to talk all about it. These two have played it. I haven't, because
Yeah.
I don't like fighting games, so I'm not going to shit on it for no reason. I'll just stay out of it. But we'll talk about it. These two have got plenty of impressions, so we'll talk all about that. And then, in the second half of this show, we haven't learnt from last week, so we're going to talk about predictions, hopes, and dreams for Summer Game Fest and the Xbox Showcase, so that we can cry next week. So, you know, it's going to be fun. It's going to be all good. But if you're new here, welcome to the show. We're here every Monday around 12 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. UK time. Just talk about everything that we love in the world of gaming. You can find us on podcast services. Just search for Hot Games Only, or go to youtube.com/Hot Games Only. Look at our stupid faces each and every week. Housekeeping. Me and Hunter are near the end of Zelda, so get your subscriptions in so that we can do the spoiler cast. Hunter is probably going to write a review still at some point. I assume you're writing a review after you finally finish this monolith of a video game.
Yeah, sure. I'll probably have a gap between, things to do. Okay, this game's gonna cause like the gaming hangover that Persona 5 and Breath of the Wild did to me anyway. So yeah, I'll have time to write a review.
Hell yeah. I mean, I was looking, so it's like I've got a break now, thankfully, because it's like the next thing I'm picking up is probably Final Fantasy 16 and the inevitable, unfortunate Crash Team Rumble grind that I have to perform to do that review. So I've got a little bit of break, and I still don't want to play Jedi because it still seems like it's a broken mess. So I'm like, it's been that long now where I'm like, do I just wait until that game's in a good state? And I feel like I'm fine with waiting, so I don't know what I'm going to play. Who knows? I've got plenty of stuff in the backlog, I guess, but I don't want to play that. We'll see. What will happen? Who knows? But yeah, so that'll come out. Review will probably be some point in the next week or two, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Look out for that. And then other than that, we've, like I say, Summer Game Fest is next week, so we'll have impressions on that. And then is there any other games coming out? Like, I know this is a busy month, but I swear that everything else is like later down the line. So I think we're good.
Final Fantasy at the end of the
Diablo.
month. Yeah,
But
no one
Diablo
cares
is already
about
out
that.
technically. None of us are playing it because none of us are Diablo fans.
Woo.
I played.
We
the
could take the
third
high ground, but
game
the rest
on
of the industry isn't,
PlayStation
so-
4, and I was like, I think I played enough of that to last me the rest of my life for the whole series.
I think the only person that I know that's probably played Diablo a lot is Sam. He played a lot of Diablo 3 back in the day. But he hasn't picked up
Isn't-
Diablo 4. So
The funny thing is, like, on the PS4, I just bought it so I could play with my siblings, and the only time is, like, I probably, if not for playing with them, I would have never even picked it up. I played it one other time on my brother's computer, like, when it first launched, and I was like, yeah, that was cool. And that would have been enough. That would have been enough for me forever.
I've been like that with every Blizzard game. I just realized that other than Overwatch, I feel like most people have like one Blizzard game where it's like, if you're a Blizzard fan, you love everything Blizzard. But if you're a normie, for the most part, you seem to have one Blizzard game where it's like, there's one thing that you sink your teeth into that you really like, and then the rest of them, you'll play them for a couple of hours and go, it was fine, and then move on. So it was like, I've tried WoW before. I played it for like an hour and was like, I can't do this. It's boring for me. Hearthstone I liked quite a bit, but not enough to get invested into it. You know, it just keeps on going. Where it's like, I'm sure I'd feel the same way about Diablo. So Overwatch was mine, and now look at it, dead and buried. It's all good.
Yeah.
But no, we're not covering it, but we are covering a load of games at the end of the month. Covering Final Fantasy, covering Raincode, covering Crash Team Rumble. We'll cover a load of other stuff, I'm sure. So look forward to it. If there's something on Game Pass, hey, I've got an Xbox. It's been sitting in the dust for a while, so we can play it. You know, I wasn't playing
Way to take one
Redfall
for
more
the
than
team,
an hour.
Ethan.
You couldn't make me. Hey, I played Redfall for 45 minutes and gave up. It was fine. What are we going to do? Anyway, Street Fighter 6, that's what we're here for. Let's talk about that instead of just monologuing about nonsense. So,
Let's
it's out.
monologue about other nonsense.
Hooray! I love fighting video games. Street Fighter 6 was a game. It released on June 2nd, 2023. It was my mum's birthday. Happy birthday, Mum. You don't listen to the show because you've
You're
got better
Street
things to do with your
Fighter.
life. And it reviewed very well,
Fucking well, yeah.
which is a good...
Completing my little Cerberus of 90 plus games for my fantasy draft.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
not a surprise. I mean, modern Capcom just can't seem to take an
You
L
see,
anymore.
everyone's saying, well, no, calm your fucking tits. They've got Exo Primal coming in the next year. Don't act as if they're like high and mighty. They've got a shitter coming.
Yeah.
Like,
Exo Primal isn't gonna.
they
be
made
good.
they made Reverse or whatever that multiplayer thing was for 3. You can't go that they're not on cloud 9 all the time.
It's not an undisputable, like, they never make anything bad. It's just the bad stuff doesn't matter because, you know, if you're sensible, you're not going to play it anyway.
Yeah, well, if
Yeah.
you're sensible,
You
no one was
shouldn't-
playing
you
Balan
shouldn't-
Wonderworld or whatever the fuck it was called. So it's
You
like,
shouldn't care about. You shouldn't care about the reverse whatever, and no one with functioning brain cells is gonna care about Exo Primal.
no, but I
So when
think
you've
that
got things,
I
as
think that
good
people
as-
don't understand. It's like, this is a big deal for this game to score so well and to come out as polished as it did. Especially, fucking ignore the fact that Capcom's been on a high recently, because it's like every team has had to kind of rebound themselves. The only team that was properly good in the first place was probably the Monster Hunter team. They haven't really missed a ball ever, really, so they just keep trotting along, right? But it's like Resident Evil had to pick up the slack again. So it's like, for them, Street Fighter 5 did not launch in a good state at all.
No, it didn't.
No.
So the fact that they decided to take their time and actually release something that's in such a great state is an achievement. And I don't like I say, don't expect, there's got to be a point at some point where Capcom falls. We've been saying this for a couple of years now, where it's like, there's got to be a stinker coming. They've got to release at least one. And you just, thank God it's not Street Fighter. Let's hope it's not Resident Evil 9. Let's hope it's Exo Primal, because I don't think anyone has faith in that one. So let's just hope it's that one and move on. And
I've
be
already
great.
forgotten that thing existed, so...
It'll haunt me until they give me a proper Dino Crisis.
So
oh,
that'd be
that's what that was?
Yeah,
Yeah,
was like,
it's the one that
I
upset
saw
me.
with the
because it's
dinosaurs
not
falling from the
Dino
sky.
Crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that now.
I can't remember if it was at Summer Game Fest or Opening Night Live. Was it one of the tragedies? You just had the
It
fallen
was that really bad state of play. It was where we first saw it with the Dio Field Chronicle. is the
Yes,
Yes,
other
that was
more
game.
awful.
specific.
That was awful.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. But no, Street Fighter is sitting at a 92. It seems to be doing rather well. How much time have you put into it, Kyle?
Probably about 6-7 hours.
Hunter?
And probably about 5 or 6 hours. Yeah, played it for quite a bit last night. Then my controller died, and I went back to playing Zelda.
I knew
And
it.
so it's like, as
I
someone...
told you, Ethan.
Yeah. And let me tell you,
I played it some today too.
I watched some YouTube gameplay because I do my research, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you. And the first thing that I want to say is this game's really pretty. It's a very good looking game. I will give them that. Capcom seems to. It's can the RE engine make anything look terrible? Is my question at this point, because that engine is just like
At this point,
wizardry.
no.
It's Exoprimal in the RE engine.
Who
Gosh.
knows?
Exoprimal.
That's
Let's
a
find
question
out.
yeah, but yeah, I do think the game looks pretty good. I think a lot of the character designs are neat. Well, some of
It
them
is
are
on
neat,
the
some
RE
of them I
engine.
think.
It is on the RE
okay,
engine.
there we go. There's the miss.
Well, no, it wasn't final. Give him a chance. It could look good in the
Yeah.
end. That might be the only saving grace of it. We'll find out.
Maybe.
But no, RE engine games always look great. I mean, Monster Hunter World, fucking fantastic. Resident
Resi
Evil
5.
looks great.
Resi
I mean, DMC
5.
5.
Resi 5 looks incredible, dude. I love the
Sorry, I
way
said
that
RE
it looks.
engine,
The way
brainwashed
that
Resident
volcano
Evil.
just kind of glimmers is beautiful. Anyway.
I meant the Resi 5 remake.
Oh.
My dad works at Capcom.
Insider sources, dude. Wow. Jeff Grubb's got
For
to run
legal
for his
reasons,
money.
this is a joke.
For legal reasons, it's
That's
not
right.
get him Capcom, please.
For legal reasons, I'm fucking lying to all of you right now.
But yeah, I think the game looks really good. The way they've got like the way the aesthetic works, and then the like color splashes with the special attacks or
The
whatever
drive
it's called.
impacts.
Yeah, those.
But no.
I think it's a really cool style.
Well, yeah, because there's someone who hated the Street Fighter V style. No offense. I think all fighting games last generation
no,
didn't
Street
look
Fighter
good.
5 is hideous.
Because
With
they
the
all went
Play-Doh
for that
man.
ultra. They went for the PS4 standard, which was ultra realistic. Get those sweaty like HD textures in that don't look great, and it's just like so to just see this game filled with color and more stylized characters is. It just looks better. It's like you don't need realism doesn't equal better. I'd much rather have a cartoony style like this that's just crisp and looks great on next gen than whatever the hell everyone was cooking up last generation.
Yeah, it was atrocious.
It's also just
like-
nice to see Street Fighter have like some kind of personality to it, because I've always looked at Street Fighter games and I've just kind of thought they were really bland. Like
I mean,
the bare essential of what a fighting game could be.
I think modern, sure, but it's like I still think there was very much a charm to the older Street Fighter games, definitely, especially when you came to them, right? I know that it's like I don't know. I just like if I picture if you to ask me to picture a retro fighter, the thing that would instantly come to me is Street Fighter 2. Like that's the kind of image that I'd say.
Two
I'd
dudes
say
on the
that
side of a car and beating it into bits.
yeah, especially when it's like, okay, when I think of Mortal Kombat, I think of like old Mortal Kombat. All I can really picture is the stupid like pixelated spine that comes out of somebody when you rip them off with the fatality. That's all I really remember. Where it's like I can picture like stages in Street Fighter 2 and like Ryu standing there and stuff like that. I can like those things are like ingrained in my head. But if you were to ask me what does Street Fighter 3 look like, or what does Street Fighter 4 look like, or 5, I'd be like, it's a bit harder to kind of do that. But this game's fantastic, and all the stages, my god, very pretty stages. Almost distracting to a point where I was like, I don't know how you're playing this fighting game. I'm looking at like I see monkeys in the background. I'm like, oh, that's sick. You just staring at all the animation.
While I was doing an arcade mode, it sent me to like the Brazil level. It was like I don't remember what it's called, but its location is in Brazil somewhere. And there was like this snake wrapped around a tree that my brother pointed out while I was playing. I was like, oh, that is really cool. And then I got punched in the face for taking a second to appreciate it.
And I think what's really interesting, and I think is, when you think of stuff like Smash Bros. And stuff like that, you have quote unquote stages, right? Where it's like, different level geometry and stuff like that. But the cool thing that I think about Street Fighter is it's basically just a flat fucking surface with a nice cool background in the
just cool backgrounds.
Yeah. Which I think is cool. Which I also think is really cool because I was watching a couple of people play it, and I was like, people were like, oh, look at the background, that's sick. And then someone else was like, yeah, but in multiplayer, you might not even be playing on the same background. So two people were playing on completely different backgrounds. And it was just like, this was in Battle Hub. It wasn't competitive, Kyle. But, they're just like playing a friendly, but they were just in different stages. I just like that they were both like complimenting the stage. They were like, yeah, and it's just two completely different stages. I just thought that was kind of funny.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's a very, very pretty game. But how does it play? I guess that's the important thing about the fighting game. I guess I don't know. I don't play them. Kyle, how's it playing?
So there's basically two control schemes that the game gives you: a modern mode and classic mode. Which classic mode is Street Fighter's typical 6-button light, medium, heavy buttons, light, medium, heavy punch, and kick assigned to all your buttons. And then
Yeah.
modern mode is one button specials done with directional and triangle,
Smash
kind of like Smash
Bros?
Bros.
Are you for
Yeah,
Yeah,
real?
pretty
Wow, I
much.
love
yeah.
Smash Bros. My favorite party game.
And that's I've been playing on modern mode because I've always found Street Fighter's button layout to just be too complicated. It's too
Mm,
much to keep track of. My hands forget what to do. 6 buttons is a lot to keep track of.
definitely.
So it's I think it's really good for Street Fighter to, especially for like a legacy game like this, to s- appeal to like a wider audience.
Especially because it's like when you think of stuff, if it's like Mortal Kombat is coming out with a new, obviously Mortal Kombat 1 is Mortal Kombat 12, right? Tekken 8,
Hmm.
Street Fighter 6. These are very
Yeah,
like long-standing franchises where
they're
it's like
legacy
you can
games.
kind
Yeah.
of, when you think about something like like BlazBlue or whatever, you kind of assume that because they're niche fighting games, people that are getting into those kind of games are fighting game fans or are willing to kind of put the work in. But when it comes to something like Street Fighter or Tekken or Mortal Kombat, you're kind of assuming that some normies are probably going to see it and go, you know what, this is my first. I'm going to give it a go, and then they'll be instantly put off by the amount of buttons and combos that they have to learn. So just giving anybody some kind of accessibility into at least making it a bit more simpler for their brain to trick into getting to it, especially if you're copying off Smash Bros, because Smash Bros is the most normie of kind of fighting games. If someone's played a fighting game, they've probably played a Smash Bros, so it's a kind of good idea to try and get people into it. I
Yeah.
like it quite a bit.
And even people like me who are, quote unquote veterans to fighting games, like even just having this modern control scheme to just help me ease into Street Fighter, because I've never played Street Fighter before. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
play 5 or anything prior to that. It's super nice. It's been super helpful for just figuring out my buttons and figuring out what my character can and can't do.
What about you, Hunter? How have you been handling it?
Yeah, I've been going back and forth between the two of them just to see the difference as far as the way it works. I've been leaning on for most of the characters. I've been experimenting with just keeping the classic controls the way it is, but I'm suspecting that there's a few that I'll enjoy with the simpler inputs. Like,
Yeah.
because there are certain characters like you got where their special moves involve just standing there and charging up your move for a minute or whatever. I think that will probably be where I find the simpler input better to use, because it's like I don't want to sit there and charge up my input on a quarter circle or whatever and then
Why
charge
not,
at
Hunter?
them because it's silly. And so being able to just hit backwards and triangle or whatever for something like that, probably a little easier. And yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I like it. And it's like, I think the one thing that this game has kind of doubled down on, like when it's like, I look at all the other fighting games at the moment, look at Tekken, and you're like, oh yeah, Tekken's cool or whatever, but Tekken is very much being Tekken. And it's like, love it or hate it. Mortal Kombat I have no interest in Mortal Kombat at all, and it's just Mortal Kombat's living its own world. Will that game be good? Will it be a 50? We'll find out in September, I guess, because that's the thing with Mortal Kombat is it's
It's a
extremely hit
fun
and
coin
miss.
flip.
Yeah, it's always a coin flip, and it doesn't look like. Whereas from the reveal of Street Fighter, even though the logo was absolutely dog and it was
The
awful, and
logo
you
is
could,
bad. The art
yeah,
on
at
the
least you could tell
box is
from the
bad.
gameplay, the early gameplay, you're like, oh no, they're trying something here. They're going in because that game looked great from its first showing. It was just the logo that was terrible. Um, the one thing this game is like brimming with to me is personality, where it's like I've never really looked at Street Fighter in that way before. Like I've seen the character, like there's iconic characters from Street Fighter, but they just kind of in my head they just kind of exist. Or you look at them in Smash Bros, right? You look at Ken and Ryu in Smash Bros, and you're just like, yeah, I guess
Yeah,
that's Ken
Ryu
and
is just
Ryu.
martial arts enthusiast
They have
protagonist that
zero, yeah,
everybody
like their
is,
animations
and
are
then Ken
boring.
is
There's yeah.
American Ryu.
Yeah.
Um,
You just kind of live with
but
it, right? But you look at this
yeah,
game and it's just like there's so much
it's always been the
personality in the
extra characters.
animations and just the way that everybody's doing. Like you say, the splashes of paint and all the color and stuff like that. One thing I loved was because I was doing a bit of stalking on your profile on PlayStation, because of course I am. But it was like even the trophy list. I don't know if you've read the descriptions of the trophies, but they're
That are
so
like a
full of
paragraph
charm and
long.
they're just
Yeah,
so full of charm
Yeah.
and personality, and there's no need. But I'm just like, damn, this game's just filled with kind of love and care. Really, it really does feel like when they say, "Hey, we spent 6 years on it." It feels like they've spent that much time on it because just from the amount of polish and love that seems to have gone into it. Do you guys have any favorite characters so far that you've been messing around with?
I haven't really picked a favorite yet. I just kind of, well, because the guy I played as in 4 was Akuma, and he's not in the game yet. He's going to be a DLC character, so I've just been I picked Blanca because I kind of liked him, did his arcade mode. Picked Ken because why not? He has a Dante skin that I could select because I
Ken's
pre-ordered
going
the
through a bit
game.
of a fucking homeless phase. I've seen. He looks a bit rough, dude.
Yeah.
Dude seems a bit depressed, and I'm like, damn, bro, what happened, Ken?
I did an arcade run with Jury because she has a bunch of kick moves, and I think kicks are cool. But yeah, I haven't really settled on a favorite yet. Design-wise, I really like the the big lady with like the Spartan helmet who takes off her helmet.
Dude,
and
she's
it's just
fucking,
the haircut is exactly the same.
Yeah, she's a tank,
It's
bro.
hilarious. I'm like, oh, your rival had better be like Zangief or something.
Dude, I've seen a bit of Zangief, and I just the big people, like the larger characters in this game, are just
so big,
so
It's
big
so
and
good.
so funny, and how goofy they are. Like, you know, it's like you just see Zangief just pick someone up and just fucking chuck them and slam them down. It's just
When
like,
I was playing against my brother yesterday, it was like the best moment if he did Ryu's little helicopter kick, and like I was just out of range and had done Zangief's like jumping power bomb maneuver, and so he just like right at the end of the helicopter kick had to eat that, and I was like, oh, that was perfect.
yeah, definitely.
Zangief
Kyle, do you
has
have any
probably
favorites?
the best celebration too.
Yeah, true.
I've been exclusively playing Cammy. She was the character that like. I saw her trailer and I'm like, okay, this is the one I want to play.
She has a really cool design in this game. I think it's a big improvement from
the
Street
yeah,
Fighter 4.
yeah.
I like
the cool jacket and stuff. Much better
jacket
than
with
her
the British
silly,
flag on the back.
British in it Tuesday, mate. Fucking
much
hell.
better than the silly one-piece bathing suit thing she used to wear.
She's got a cat.
She has a cat.
She does cool flippy kicks. What more can you want from a character?
I haven't played as her yet, but
she's got flippy kicks.
I like flippy kicks.
No, yeah, I because I remember seeing her design for Street Fighter 6. I do really like her design quite a bit. I like all the designs of Street Fighter 6. I should say that it's like from someone that doesn't care about playing the game, just looking at it, I'm like, damn, there's some really good character designs in this game. And it's what's the state of the roster in terms of size? Is it kind of standard Street Fighter roster?
Like 14
size? Because I know that it's like
14. Final answer.
Well, the answer is 4, 8, 12, 16, 18, apparently.
Ah, damn it.
Okay.
So close. We have, in fact, I'll say them all, and you can laugh as I say them terribly because I'm probably either dyslexic or stupid. Let's find out. Camille, Lily, Zangief, JP, Marissa, Manon, DJ. I love that they spell it DJ.
Yeah.
I love
Oh,
that.
I played as him for a little bit yesterday. He was a lot of fun.
E Honda, Dalsim, Blanca, Ken, Jury, Kimberly, Guile, Chun-Li, Jamie, Luke, and Ryu. I think I didn't fuck it up. Well done, Ethan. It's a good day for Ethan's speech test. Well done.
Good work, Ethan.
Thank you. And like, God, fucking Luke. I hate the box art. Can I mention the box art yet? The box art fucking stinks, dude.
Yeah,
that's my one complaint with this game as a passive observer is, man, ugly box art. They really want those digital sales, it seems, because my God.
Yeah.
I bought it digital.
How you've basically moved to digital though, right?
No, not really.
Really?
I just like buying my fighting games digital because the PlayStation's my fighting game machine, and I don't want to switch out discs every time I want to play a different game.
Fair enough.
It's pure laziness. Did you call me a coward, Hunter?
You heard me.
No, I didn't. I was talking. It didn't register until I was done.
Yeah, I'm just like looking
well,
at
clearly you heard it still.
Well, I'm just looking at the character like roster, right? And you've got your big guys, you've got a lot of you've got your kicky people, you've got your punchy people, the classics.
Yeah.
You've got Stringy Arm Man, which is obviously an interesting choice, Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, the zoner.
I love Gal's haircut. That's a fucking great.
Oh yeah,
That's great.
Guile's haircut.
Is that
Guile's
punk
great.
rocker? Like Jury's
Which
kind of
one?
got like a punk kind of
Oh
look
yeah,
to
her
her.
design's really cool.
I
I'm
like
not
that.
super hot on her voice though. Hearing her lines, I was like, oh,
I can't play.
Yeah,
I
this
could
could've
play
been
it on the
better.
website right now, but it will come through in the recording, so I will not do that because I do not
Oh.
own the rights to it. I'll
it,
just
you
take.
coward.
I'll just take your word to it. Is that a fucking like kid? Is there a kid in this game? Like
Oh,
Lily?
is that what's her face?
Yeah.
She has a grab move where she like helicopter spins around your neck with her stupid little sticks, and I hate that move.
Bro, that's so funny, dude. Like, just like beat the shit out of Zangief as like a fucking like
15-year-old
As an
girl or
infant,
something.
15-year-old, whatever.
I
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
funny.
know. I don't know the details on her. I think she's a new character. So
yeah, she's new.
yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So like, because I was just looking at them all, like, yeah. I'm like, what? Like,
Wait a minute.
And child.
I'm like, she looks like an NPC, dude. Like, what the fuck? But
JP
hey,
is also pretty cool. He's got like a cane that he whacks people with, and he's got like
Yeah,
these like
it's
dark
like
powers.
portals and stuff. He's got a sweet little cape on his shoulder. It's great.
He seems pretty rad.
Yeah, I haven't actually played as him yet, but I fought against him in the arcade a couple of times. I'm like, oh, this.
I was gonna say he seems like a hunter kind of character.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it.
Not in the traditional way you'd think of a hunter character, though.
right. I'm looking. I am just like, okay, I'm looking this up. You carry on talking about characters because I was like, now I'm interested because I was like, how old is Ryu at this point in the canon? Because I don't know where this canon is, and now I'm just.
I don't even know because the Street Fighter story is super stupid because I'm pretty sure the way it went was 1, 2, 3, and then in between 2 and 3 were 4 and 5.
Yeah, now
Makes
6
sense
is
to me.
And now 6 finally goes after 3, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah. So, I don't know exactly.
I do
how
not
old
believe this for a fucking second. Did you ready
What,
for
is
this
Ryu
one?
in like his 50s?
Right. I just want to say that at first I got these answers from one source, and they were so stupid that I was like, nah, we're going somewhere else, and they had the exact same ages. So I'm either
Always
Oh,
double check your
yeah.
sources, kids.
always double check your sources. You know, I don't believe them either. I think it's going to be copy and paste. In fact, I'll say them that this is definitely not the ages, but we'll laugh at them because I think this is funny. So I want you to picture these in your head. Okay, Cammy, Kyle, how old do you think Cammy is? You know,
Probably like late 20s, early 30s.
yeah, very close to their recommendation. Their recommendation is the age of 49, but you know, very
Oh, of
close, Kyle,
course.
very close. Yeah,
49.
Ryu, you know, getting a bit old now. 58.
58? My God.
These are not real, by the way. I do not believe these because they're saying Lily is 18 to 20. You got no fucking chance of that one, dude. That sounds like an excuse to the FBI officer that's watching you. You fucking idiot, dude. She's
Dulcie
about
must
5.
be like 120.
Zangief is 67. He's looking good for 67.
No way.
JP is 60s, just 60s.
Oh, he does look like
Marissa's
an old man.
30s. That's Gladiator Woman.
Yeah.
I can believe that one. That's the first one that I actually
Yeah.
believe, to be honest. Or maybe JP being 60s, late 60s.
Yeah.
That one makes sense as well. Man in 30s. I can believe that one. DJ 57. I do not believe that one. That
No
one.
way.
He's no
E Honda
first.
62. Don't believe that one. Dalsim 70. Can believe that one. Lanky boy. He's a bit old though.
So the thing that's crazy about that is he looks so much older than everybody else that they're claiming is only like 10 years younger than him.
Blanca's 57, dude. Ken's 58. He's looking good for 58, dude.
Oh,
Jury, that
Blanca's
punk rocker
also
we've
like
been
this
talking.
goblin thing.
Yeah,
Blanca's
Jury's
like a beast.
38. I don't believe that one.
There's no way that Jury is
Kimberly,
38.
early 20s. Guile, 62.
No, he isn't. This doesn't make sense.
Dude, Chun-Li looking great for 55, dude. Let me tell you. Wow.
Wow.
Jamie, late 20s. Luke, late 20s. Wow. Thank
believe
you. That
that.
was 2 separate sources, by the way. I don't believe any of you. That's so funny. 62, 38, 50. Oh, this one's even more specific. Mid to late 20s. That's not specific enough for me. That's so funny. 18. That's so dumb. Don't be stupid, guys. That's funny. Anyway, characters are great. Don't
Yeah.
trust the internet though. I just wanted to know how old Ryu was. Was that too much to ask, dude? I just wanted to know. Oh well.
I think Ryu's just like infinite years old, because how else could he do this many crossovers with this many games?
That's true.
Just think about all the things he's been in.
You could
He's
play
fought
like
Power Rangers.
you could play like the 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, but with Ryu in fighting games.
In really anything.
Yeah.
Ever heard of
It's crazy.
Project X Zone?
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
wacky 3DS exclusive.
It always upset me that was a 3DS game because there's a whole bunch of Capcom games that I would have appreciated from that in their participation, and no, I just can't play it.
I think at one point they meet the people from the Yakuza games.
Oh, baby.
That sound now you're selling it to me, baby.
Well, it was on the 3DS. Might have been eShop exclusive. Who knows?
R.I.P.
Yeah, that's crazy. Anyway. I'm sorry, I've gone down the Reddit rabbit hole, dude. I've gone down the Reddit rabbit hole.
Oh no.
Oh,
Just
no,
tried to
no,
work it
no.
out, dude. Chun-Li,
Ethan's gonna have like the full
Reddit,
story
who have
for
done
us.
their math, dude. They've pulled their
Oh,
glasses
good.
up. They have done their math. They have not had anything better to do in their life. They're working it out that Chun-Li is probably roughly around 40 in Street Fighter 6. Still looking great for the age, by
That's
the way.
more believable.
But I believe that
less
more than
absurd
50,
than
whatever the fuck it was.
55
Yeah.
or whatever. But that's the weird thing with fighting games, and when they insist on having passages of time, but their characters not really look very much older. It is or older than they did, but not like. It's weird because you're gonna make Ryu and Ken fight forever, but also your story's gonna continue to pass time.
I still like I am still like the fucking 60s, bro. Anyway, so we've talked about characters' ages, the most important part of Street Fighter. Let's talk about the modes, shall we? Because that's probably something we should mention 32 minutes into an episode. There are
This is all you.
modes. Well, I can tell you, there's World Tour, there's Battle Hub.
Yeah, World Tour. The Battle Hub's the online mode.
Mhm.
Is there anything? Is there
And
anything
then-
else?
I don't remember what
So
the furthest to the right
training?
was called, but that's
Training
the,
ground.
That's the fighting ground or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the one. That's how you get to the arcade mode and just your typical couch fight against each other stuff and all that. One thing I will say about the in between as far as navigating the menus or beating arcade modes, I feel like there's a lot of nonsense that comes in between the screens. Like, I beat an arcade mode with Blanca last night, and I got like 700 pieces of artwork that they had to show me afterwards. And I was like, why can't you, did it have to be all of this at once?
Well, one thing I did want to point out was, so obviously you got your 3 modes. I haven't really looked into story mode, to be honest. Main thing I've seen is Battle Hub, which is online. And the main thing I want to say is it's a cool idea, basically being like, hey, look, it's like a virtual arcade that you and your friends can go into and act like it's a real arcade and play it. And that's what the idea was behind the devs, because I watched this little thing on YouTube where they were talking to the devs about why this was the way it was. I'm like, that's cool. I'd also would love an update where you also just have a fucking menu so we can skip all this shit, because it does seem to it
I
adds a
think if
couple
you
of
You
want
can.
can you?
specifically to just play against a friend, you can go to just a menu.
And also when you're online, you can just select to be in a queue and not have to worry about arcade cabinets and junk like
Okay,
that.
good, because I was like, that shit seems a bit tedious. Because I was like, oh look, it's cool. These 2 friends are walking over to an arcade machine and playing together. I'm like, that's kind of cool. And then if you want to spectate them, you can go over and look at it, like watch over their shoulders. Which I'm like, that's kind of cute. I like it. But also, if there's not a method to just fucking queue up, that'd be the most tedious thing ever. Like, holy shit.
Now, don't the Arc System Works games make you participate in their silly little
Bullshit.
Yes.
nonsense in between? Yeah.
Well, no. Guilty Gear has a thing where you can just queue in training mode.
Well, that's nice.
Actually, I think DNF had that too. I think it was just Blaze. No, Blaze Blue had that too. Hunter, you're lying.
Well,
You're lying to the people.
I would have got this information from you, so I'm not sure what's going on.
I do have to laugh though, because DNF it's it did the same thing with the arcade cabinets and
Mhm.
queuing up that way. So it's kind of funny to see Street Fighter doing the same thing. But
It's
it's
cute
okay.
though, right?
No one remembers
You can play
DNF Duel.
old Street Fighter games in there as well,
Yeah,
Hmm.
and just
which
old
is
other
cute.
Capcom arcade games, like I think Final Fight's in there and
Yeah,
other stuff.
there's a
It,
pixel art Mega Man in there.
it's cute.
Sick.
I
I
like
got
it.
excited to see that.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it. But battle
Yeah.
mode. It's got rollback netcode. Obviously, that's the big one that everybody loves saying. That's the new spice in the. Well, it's not new, but it's the spice that everybody likes in the fighting game community.
I mean,
Is
it's
it working
fucking
well?
working. It's the smoothest online I've ever played.
Damn, that's good.
I've played about 200 matches, and I think one of them was stuttery, and I've only been kicked from one match.
Yeah, I was watching two people play. One of them was in Japan and one of them was in America, and you couldn't really tell. There was not really much lag, and I was like, "That's very impressive."
Mhm.
Um, Especially like you say, when I'm used to only playing Smash Bros, the worst connection on any video
The
game ever,
worst.
right? So it's like watching games work well. I'm like, wow,
Mhm.
if only Nintendo gave a shit, then maybe we could have something like this that'd be fun. That'd make because it's like it's crazy how it's like how good it works, and it's like some people are just refusing to add it, and some people add it as a patch and only for this, and it doesn't work on Switch, and it's like, oh fucking hell, just
Yeah, it literally doesn't work on Switch infrastructure. It's
Oh my god.
stupid.
well, it's because yeah, you can't guarantee. Yeah, it's just Switch is dumb sometimes. Hopefully,
Switch is
Switch Two
done
has a
anyways.
hopefully Switch Two has a fix for that. But no, story mode. Have either of you dabbled in story mode?
Hunter, that's
I
all you.
I dabbled in the story mode for a couple of hours last night. Yeah. You make your little character. Character creator is respectable. It's got a couple of. It's not as good as like Soul Calibur 6's, but it does the
Yeah.
job. It's got one of the. This is the first instance I can remember of seeing this particular thing where you can take two faces and you can like make it some kind of compromise between the two of the
Okay.
presets if you don't
Oh,
if you
I
don't
played a
want to
game.
sit there and go
GTA.
through and like adjust. Oh, really?
GTA has that,
Oh,
but not in the
interesting.
way where it's like because you can fully customize in this game, whereas in GTA's online's old customization system, and I think it's the same for Red Dead as well, was you had like a mother and a father, and you selected those two, and you changed your attributes based on which one you want them to more look like. So you like then
Huh.
blended them together, and it
I
always that's
see.
why everybody in GTA and Red Dead Online look ugly as fuck, because you just take two ugly GTA characters and then fuse whatever. It's like you're just rolling
Yeah.
the dice. You're just trying every combination until you find something that doesn't look like inbred, basically. You just like roll the dice. Come on, baby. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a functioning human being here. Wait. Like, it's dumb. But
But yeah, so that was nice because I'm not the type to go and specifically adjust the depth of my character's
dude, I
nose
saw
or
someone
anything like
click
that.
random and they got some like
But
fucking horror, this little
um,
abomination. Like they
oh,
like
the
That's what I
potential
did.
for nightmare characters in this game is
dude,
going to
someone
be
looked like a Lovecraftian
incredible.
horror creature, dude. Like
Oh
genuinely,
man,
like
I can't wait to see their
I've seen like a
nonsense.
Mr. Blobby looking
There's a
person who was like had a completely lanky arms and legs and but then like a really wide like torso and body, but it was squished together so it was
Yeah,
up
that's my
like
favorite
here
thing
and
was when
it's
I was
like
selecting my height, there was an option to like sitting height as well, which like elongates or shortens your torso. I'm like, oh my
yeah.
god, I could make Raru from Zelda in this
Oh god.
stupid torso goat.
There was one thing I saw on Twitter. Someone made their character a light bulb, just like wide on top,
Yeah.
thinned out at the bottom, and then like
Bobblehead, bro.
the
Oh, yeah.
brightest white color you could make them.
Yeah. That's funny. But anyway, how's battle mode? So you can customize your character, you can make yourself and live in the
Yeah.
Street Fighter world where you go and punch people, I assume.
Yeah, it's essentially like as far as the general setup, it's like your character training at Luke's gym or whatever, and they set you up. That way. It's kind of like I played the Dragon Ball Xenoverse game with my friend several years back, and it's kind of a similar situation where you create a
Mhm.
character, and then all of the characters that you actually care about are people that you can go and learn from and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so that's kind of the general setup after Luke gave you the basic tutorial stuff. It kind of pushed you into, oh, you could go talk to Chun-Li and learn her moves and all of that. So that's neat as far
Russell
as that's
stopped tall.
concerned. Um, uh, and then yeah, and then as far as the rest of what you can do, it's kind of like just walk. You get to walk around like just this fully rendered world and whatnot. You could just choose to fight any pedestrian that's walking around,
Of course.
and that's a lot of fun. It kind of reminds me of like if River City Girls was 3D and locked you into a fighting game for the combat encounters because it's kind of an equal level of absurdity this way as far as that's concerned, because just throwing hands with whoever in the streets is hilarious. And like they've got like all of them have like levels and stuff, and you can like look at little challenge details for like, oh, knock them down 3 times and you'll get extra money or whatnot, and so on. And the level thing is funny because it doesn't really seem to make them very much harder. It just gives them more health. Because like I got the option to, it was like fight 3 people, and I'm like, I went to this dude who was like juggling flaming bottles or something, and I was like, I'll fight you, sure. And he was like a level 9, and I was at like level 2 still, and I'm like, I'm still gonna do it, and I pulled it off. It just took me like 4 minutes punching the dude with my 2 special moves. Um, uh, but yeah, so it's entertaining. I think I don't imagine it's going to be any kind of grand old masterpiece of a story, but I think it'll be good for what it is. I'm more entertained by the couple of hours that I played in this last night than I've been in any of Mortal Kombat's cinematic stories that they've done the past few of their games. So, I think this works better, honestly.
Yeah, it just looks like goofy fun, right? It's like it's obviously.
Yeah.
I think they know that it's not the main kind of draw to a game like this. They know what people are after, but it's something to kind of increase the value of the package, I guess, especially when it's
Yeah.
$70 game. A lot of people are
Yeah.
like, I have a friend
Actually, it's
who's a
only a
big.
$60 game.
Well, here they're treating it the same as they are here. It's a
Oh.
£60 game, which is a $70 game or whatever. So they're still treating it that fucking way. So, but it's still an expensive game, so it's like you gotta kind of justify it with extra features and stuff like that. And like you say, this is just like a bit of a goofy kind of side project, kind of fun little.
And at the end of the day, like if you were to play all of it or whatever, you should at least have a better idea of how to play the game now. Like I think it'll probably do the thing where it's like, oh, it contextualizes a bunch of things that are effectively a tutorial, just in a way that feels
Isn't a
less
tutorial.
Yeah. Which, I think is a perfectly serviceable thing for a story mode in a game like this to do.
Yes. So Street Fighter 6 is £60 in the UK, which isn't 70, but it's still more than games used to be. Fucking hell. Anyway, but like I say, it gives you something, right? It gives you something. You can get it for 45 if you're on PS5, don't ask, or Xbox Series X. If you're on PS4, fuck you, pay 55, bastard. Fuck you, get a new console. But don't ask me why it's like that way, but it is. But it adds something. I mean, the only thing to me I see is it kind of gives me. I don't want to say World of Light vibes, because World of Light literally is the fucking bare bones kind of fucking eat the shit kind of mode, where it's like, hope you like wasting 20 hours of your life. This actually has some personality and some substance.
Yeah, World of Light didn't have anything beyond like, oh, this is this setup of spirits is referencing this. It didn't really have anything that made me laugh. Me thinking that the starting outfit looked really stupid, so I took off the stupid track pants and just started assaulting pedestrians.
I want to say that won't hold up in court, Hunter. I maybe would rephrase that sometime because that sounds a bit dodgy. But
so like that's already more fun than World of Light was in its entirety. So and
It like I say, it's like it's not revolutionary, but it does the job. It's a good introduction.
Yeah.
You'll have a bit of fun with it. It's the only place where the game runs a bit shit, but
Oh yeah, I saw like background characters looked like they were from a completely different game. The way they were moving around.
But at the same time, it's a fighting game. You're not buying it for this. It's a fun little side gimmick, basically. But it's there if you want to try it out. But like I say, overall, as someone who isn't into fighting games, I've got to say I'm very impressed with it. from an outsider's point of view, just from like I say, the amount of effort they've put into it. Everyone's been like, oh, it's the year of fighting games because we've got this and Mortal Kombat and Tekken is probably going to come out before the second half of next year. It's going to be a good year. And I'm like, yeah, they look great. But I'm like, this is so filled with personality. This has set a high bar for Tekken and Mortal Kombat, and I know that Tekken's going to try. We'll see what Mortal Kombat does. But I feel like they really have kind of set a bar now. And I'm just like, again, Capcom is nailing it as of recent. They don't want to hit or miss until maybe Exo Primal. Please prove me wrong. But no, would you guys both recommend it? I assume you would, if you're into fighting games.
I sure would. If you like fighting games, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't pick this up.
Kyle, as someone who's new, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think this is a good jumping in point if you've ever been interested. And who knows, maybe this is the game you'll really enjoy.
Is this your new addiction, do you think?
And maybe you'll participate in Capcom Cup, and maybe you'll win $1 million.
Wow.
Woo!
Or maybe you'll just have fun with your friends.
Or maybe you'll just have fun uppercutting pedestrians.
It is a lot of fun to just uppercut pedestrians.
And watching Ryu try and work a smartphone.
Yeah.
As for whether this is my new addiction, probably not.
Ooh. What have you got bad to do,
Guilty Gear servers go out
Guilty
again.
Gear. It all comes down to preference, Ethan. Me personally, I don't dislike Street Fighter, and I've enjoyed what I've played of it. But personally, I think Street Fighter it's too slow for me. I prefer flying around like a dumbass in Guilty Gear and doing crazy shit than playing
anime,
the
guys. Leave him alone.
ground-based footsies of Street Fighter.
That game does have a bit of a
servers will
foot
go
thing,
out, and suddenly he'll have the Street Fighter 6 Platinum like he got for the Dead or Alive.
Oh dear. But no, it is, like I say, if it goes on sale at some point in a couple of years, I'm tempted to. Yeah, I'm tempted
I could
to
have
give
actually
it a go.
played Zelda.
Yeah, it looks great. If you're into it, go and pick it up. I'm sure you'll have a great time with it. Like I say, I might pick it up if it ever goes on like Extra or something at some point. I might pick it up and give it a whirl.
Come meet me in the streets. I'll uppercut you.
Oh yeah, brother, can't wait. But no, it's great. It's crazy that it's like we've had 2 releases this week, both extremely high quality from the looks of it, and I'm like, that's a rare thing to happen.
Yeah.
And the week before we got Lord of the Rings Gollum. What a fucking change. What a change of pace for the community.
I know, right?
Poor Lord of the Rings Gollum.
We have Xbox.
Xbox has games. Don't worry, Xbox,
Sure
you did get
does.
Diablo 4 and Street Fighter 6, so don't worry, you did get games, and they were good. But my god, Lord of the Rings Gollum's currently sitting at a 39 on OpenCritic. Jeez
Oh my
Louise,
god.
bro. That's worse than Balan Wonderworld. Like, that's bad.
Oh no.
Can I just say, the bits that I saw of that game, like, I don't know if it plays off as awful. Like, it looks awful, but, like, I was watching it. Kyle was listening to me. Yeah, Balan Wonderworld's a 48. Jeez, it's a lot lower than
48?
Yeah. Yeah, but, Lord of the Rings Gollum has the high ground. So currently, no one is been arrested on that team for insider trading. So, they've got a win there.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, that game looks so bad, but also I'm like, it doesn't look 39 bad. It must play horrendously, because just from the little glimpses, I just like, it's an ugly game that doesn't look particularly fun.
Conceptually, it's idiotic anyway. Who wants to play as Gollum?
Dude,
Nobody.
Yeah. It seems a bit silly.
If it was Legolas or someone who, capable of doing something cool, then maybe. All Gollum can do is argue with himself, and that's something that most of us probably do every day. So
I do love when the argument with Gollum with the generic text and all of that stuff that just looks so terrible. It's quite funny, to be fair. It's quite funny. Anyway, moving on swiftly. It's time to be disappointed, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to talk about Summer Game Fest and Xbox. Next week, on Thursday, you are going to be graced with the presence of Jeff Keighley for probably 2 hours, and you'll ask yourself, wow, what could I have done with those 2 hours after you've watched it? That is on Thursday.
You could watch Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
You can. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes, and it's fantastic. Let me just tell you that. You won't be disappointed with that one. It also has a couple of video game references in it, so you gamers out there that like games, there you go. Go watch it.
Can
It's
point
good.
at the screen like Leonardo DiCaprio, be like, I know that one.
Spider-Man. Wow. He's got the white spider. You know what that means. Gamers, rise up. Anyway, we're going to do some predictions, some hopes, some dreams, some regrets, some pains for both the Thursday Summer Game Fest show and the Sunday Xbox show. There are other shows. There's a Square Enix show at some point. So if you want to chuck in any hopes for Square Enix, we can do that.
You said that yesterday.
Yeah. There's a Square Enix show. There's a Ubisoft show. If you really love disappointment, you can go there. Hope you enjoy an hour of Just Dance and Assassin's Creed Mirage. There you go.
What the fuck is a Rayman?
He's the spin-off from the Rabbids, dude. That's what he
not
is.
real.
But yeah, so we'll do some run around, some predictions.
Mario was the spin-off from the Rabbids.
No, true. Didn't think about that. I mean, there is the Rayman DLC coming out for Sparks of Hope. So now maybe
that
Rayman
wasn't
is
out already.
No, it's not yet. They've only just done the first DLC, so I think that's still coming. So predictions for which one do we want to do? Do we just want to chuck predictions into the air for either show or any show, or should we go Summer Game Fest first and then go? Or okay, here's my first prediction: is too many people have been saying it. This Persona 3 remake is being shown at one of these fuckers because it's time to be disappointed. And here's my prediction. It's a remake of FES. There's no the answer, but they go, look, we added character fucking social links for the guys. Guys, give us $70 and I'll be there day one. And it'll be great.
So will I. And we're part of the problem.
Exactly.
I mean, I'll also play it.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
P3 spoiler cast.
Woo.
I mean,
Finally.
P3 is really old. I don't see how it's a problem if this exists.
I was talking to my friend Eamon today
Yes,
because we were talking about any rumors on when, because he was talking about when's Persona 6 coming, and I said rumors are next year, which means 2025 for you at home who are playing along, because you got to at least add a year to Atlas for delays. So Persona 4 has got Golden, and Golden's the definitive version of Persona 4. We can live in a world where Persona 4 never gets a remake, and we'll be fine. We'll live with it. It's an ugly game in a lot of ways, but we'll live with it. It's fine. It's functional. Persona 3 is a mess, right? Where it's like there's no perfect version of 3. FES doesn't have party control, and the answer's fucking dog. And Portable has no cutscenes, no good audio, but you do get party control. And FemC is a good addition. So it's like there's no best of both worlds. And I think part of my prediction is not only will we get a Persona 3 remake, it will also not be the best of both worlds. It'll just be the most functional version to play. You'll get party control, you'll get cool animations, you'll get new social links. I'm like 99% sure FemC will not be a part of Persona 3 remake, and Twitter will have a fucking field day. I'd love for it to happen, but I think it's a lot of work, and if I was Atlas and I was going Persona 3, probably the most beloved game in the franchise, put the extra mile in. Have we met Atlas? They made 3 dancing games in the span of like 2 years. They're not gonna fucking listen to that. So yeah, that's my prediction, is we get a Persona 3 remake. It will just be P3 remake. Also, Persona 5T is Persona 5 Tactics. That's my prediction, and it's a Fire Emblem type tactics game. That's my prediction.
You know, I just said this before, so I'm just gonna stick with it. Persona 5 Tetris. Let's go.
Someone was like, I saw someone that was really funny that was like, yes.
Hold on. Better. Persona 5 Take Me's Clinic. It's like a trauma center remake.
Oh my god.
Oh hell yeah, I love that.
Take Me is the main character.
I love that.
Persona 5 teacher.
Yeah, someone said tournament, that'd be pretty cool. Persona 5, someone was really funny when someone was like Persona 5 2, and then someone was like, oh, we already have strikers, and he was like, fine, Persona 5 3, because it still works.
Persona 5 20.
That's funny.
Persona 5, The World Ends With You.
Who knows when that's coming out though? Because it's like, so I think someone said 2024. Because that's just so funny. It's like Persona 3 the plan is for remake another 5 spin-off and then 6. God help
It'd be
us.
funny if it was just T, like how Q just exists.
Oh yeah, that would be
But there
funny.
was a Q2 and that had Persona 5 in it.
Yeah, so it's
But
definitely
it's
not
okay,
that.
no one remembers Q2.
No one remembers Q
Or
either, so it's
Q1.
fine. Yeah, it's fine. But no,
Thanks for being locked on the 3DS.
if I was to put a prediction in, I would say that Persona 5 T will be at Jeff Keighley's mess of a show, and Persona 3 Remake is at the Xbox show. That would be my prediction.
Yeah, that make more
Because
sense.
it
Persona
sounds
5 thing
way
that would
too
get the-
Atlas. As soon as I heard the leak that they said that Persona 6 is, for at least for now, only releasing on PlayStation, like it's a PS5 game, I was like, as soon as someone said that Persona 3 Remake was for everything, it was at the Xbox show, and Persona 6 is currently a PlayStation 5 timed exclusive because they just started working on it. I was like, that's got to be legit, because that sounds like 100% an Atlas thing to do, is go, hey Xbox, here's the old games, here's the remake for Persona 3, what's this Persona 6? You're just going to have to wait a couple of years for that one. Like, that makes sense to me. Why wouldn't it?
Xbox just can't have anything when it's new.
Nope.
Which will suck. I just wish it was fucking multiplat, because just make the effort. It's not hard, but I'm not gonna complain.
Atlas.
Yeah, I'm not gonna complain. I have all the consoles anyway, but it's still dumb. Hunter, do you have a prediction?
I'll start with one that seems like it'll be relatively easy. I think that Capcom's contribution to Jeff Keighley's show is going to be an announcement of the Separate Ways DLC for Resident Evil 4.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think that that's something that's going to happen as far as
Oh,
it makes
100%.
a lot of sense. Ada has her own story that you could tell. You can have her and Wesker to the mercenaries mode.
She's not in.
after you-
Yeah, that's the big one. Is
Yeah.
she's not in
Yeah.
Mercenaries. If like there was
Yeah.
no way in hell that they weren't putting her in Mercenaries. So it's coming,
Yeah.
whether you like it or
So
not.
yeah, so yeah, I think that's going to happen. I think this is probably a decent place to announce it because it's not like unless they're gonna do some weird like, oh, here's one of the unless it'd be like some weird Street Fighter thing after the game's already come out, but that'd be strange.
I doubt
Unless
it. I
it's
think
like DLC character trailer, but
I think
Yeah.
it's too
it
early.
seems kind of early.
Yeah, that's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
saying
It's
that,
like, it'd
Smash
be-
had the
weirder
audacity
thing-
to announce their
weirder
first
things have
character the day
happened.
before. Yeah,
But I
yeah.
think
Literally,
that'll be
Joker
what
was
it
announced
is.
the day before Smash Ultimate came out. So think weirder things have happened. I don't know. Kyle, do you have a prediction? I'm just gonna straight out. You can say no because I know what you're like.
Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer.
Oh, I agree.
I think it's time.
I agree. I think it's at one of
Again.
them. I think it's one. It'll be another teaser. I want to state that it'll be another teaser.
Yeah.
It won't be a big trailer. But I think everybody's under the impression. Well, I'm under the impression at least that is gonna like. You've got this. You've got Final Fantasy VII, which will be
Remake.
later this year or
Yeah.
early 2024. I think everyone's under the impression that Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be either fall 2024 to early 2025. I think that's when everyone's kind of expecting it at this point. So, because it's been, God, fucking hell, can you believe it's been 4 years already since Kingdom Hearts 3?
2019, yeah.
So it's already getting to the point where it's probably feasible because they've been working on it since Kingdom Hearts 3. They just went straight into it. So I wouldn't be shocked if we see some of it sooner rather than later. That goes into my next point. We will get a trailer for Rebirth. That's 100% happening.
Yeah.
I honestly, they did this before because they were like January. They just released the release date at E3. I think we get a release date or a window. I think we'll get a month. I'm pretty confident in
Yeah.
that. I think we'll get a month, and I think the month will be January. That's my guess. Is it'll be that Kingdom Hearts slot, that January 28th, whatever it is.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I can have a look real quick. It'll be January 26th, 2024. That'll be the date that they go for because Square Enix loves that final Friday in January. They just love that release date. Or it'll be
Yeah.
that in Japan, and we'll get the following Tuesday because they hate us. The huge.
The Kingdom Hearts 3 tax.
Yeah, I didn't mention this. I will. I didn't mention it was Persona. Persona will be day and date. They're done. Atlas is done with stupid Japanese releases. We'll get it either day and date or the day after. You know how it is. They did it with the ports. They'll do it with everything now. They did it with fucking
Yeah.
what was it? Fucking Soul Hackers 2. They did it with that.
Oh, yeah,
If they're
Soul
doing it with
Hackers
that, they're gonna
2.
do it with everything. So there you go.
Yeah.
We all know
Square, I
how
still
Soul
can't trust
Hackers
them.
2 turned out.
Who? Soul Hackers who, dude? Like no one remembers that one. But no, I think we get a good chunky trailer of gameplay for Rebirth. I think it's time. I also think a lot of stupid people have been talking about Square Enix's expectations for pre-orders of Street Fighter 16 aren't as high as the blah blah blah. One sheets, they're never happy. Square Enix, Tomb Raider, whatever. All three Tomb Raider games sold millions of copies, outsold each one every time. And Square Enix
And
in
it
their
still
financials were like,
underperformed
we're extremely
somehow.
disappointed in the Tomb Raider numbers, and it's like
Yeah.
they're always disappointed. It's Square Enix. They hate everything. But I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of want to jog people to be like, hey guys, 16's coming, but we also have 7 Remake Part 2. Get hyped. Please buy our video games. We beg
Enjoy
you.
57 trailers for this game too.
It's time we start that machine up.
No, I hope that we don't get nearly as many Final Fantasy VII trailers. My God.
It was crazy. But we definitely will
like-
see both of those. Why would Square Enix hold a press conference if they don't
Yeah.
have something to show?
Although, remember when they
That's-
had a Marvel's Avengers conference at E3?
Yeah, but they also had they shared it with 7 Remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah, but 7 Remake. That I remember going into that going, I don't care about Final Fantasy, but man, I can't wait to see what Avengers looks like. And I came out of it going, well, I don't care about Avengers, but I can't wait to play Final Fantasy. It sold me. So, it is what it is. Hunter, you're up next.
All right. I think that we will see a Death Stranding 2 trailer at Keeley's thing.
Well, it's a given, isn't it? It'll be a teaser
Yeah,
again.
'Cause- yeah, another
best
one
friend.
just because Keeley and Kojima are pals, and
You'll probably see.
PlayStation's logo is on the little partner thing, and I think that
And
will
now
be
we know
their
what's happening with
contribution.
Last of Us. We know it's
Yeah,
definitely
that'll
not
be-
that.
So that'll be their contribution, along with probably another stupid Gran Turismo trailer.
Oh fucking hell! I saw that Gran Turismo trailer in front of Spider-Verse today.
Ew.
And my God, did me and my friend not stop laughing at how awful that movie looks? Because it's like, who is it made for? No one from the looks of it. It looks shit. Like, oh my
But
God.
even it's based on a true story.
Yeah, it says it in the trailer, and it made me laugh. Because there's a bit where David Harbour's just talking about how much like all the gamer stereotypes, like they're fat, they don't do exercise, this is the most sunlight you've seen in years, and I'm just like, who are you making this for? Because now like
Yeah, I
you're
don't get it
insulting your
either.
fan base there, and I'm just sitting there laughing, and this is great. What a great movie! Can't wait to see it. But yeah, when is the Xbox PC show? Ubisoft Forward. Wow. So much shit. Why do they have so much shit?
I know.
Anyway.
Right?
But yeah, I if you put Death Stranding 2, I'd put a prediction that you see Elle Fanning's character, whoever she's playing. That's my
Oh,
guess.
yeah,
Because they
that's a
still
good
haven't
call.
shown her in a trailer, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's her. I am still of the theory, and I still think it's a good theory, that she is the baby from Death Stranding 1, and I think that's a good
Yeah.
theory, and there's a time jump. I still think that's a good theory, and I'm
I
holding
mean,
on to it.
I'm pretty sure that there is a time jump. Wasn't Norman Reedus's hair like gray?
Yeah, Norman Reedus was fragile in the same clip, though, 'cause she didn't look that much older.
I don't remember. Man, it's been a while. I haven't.
We're
seen this
doing it
trailer.
again. I never thought we'd
There's
be
a
doing
lot-
this shit again. Where it's
There's
like,
a lot of details in that trailer that I don't recall. What's the deal with
Square-
Troy Baker?
Oh, I love that he's back, dude. I love that he's back. That's such a.
I know, right?
That's so good. I love it. Also, apparently there isn't a Square Enix show. I've just been making that shit up. Apparently that
Damn.
that
Oh.
screenshot I saw.
Okay.
But it'll be at fucking.
Lying.
It'll be fine. It'll be a Jeff Keighley Summer Game Mess then, or at Xbox. That'll be funny. They showed the Frozen trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3 at Xbox. That was hilarious. Come on now, calm down, children.
It did.
That was funny. We all laughed at that one. It was very funny. And then the other trailer, we had fucking weirdly realistic Johnny Depp. It was good fun that year. We all had fun. Calm down. Kyle, do you have another prediction for anything that you want to see?
I'm
That's the
just looking
spirit.
at I'm just looking at Summer Game Fest Twitter, and I'm seeing Hoyoverse is gonna be there, so we'll probably see Honkai Star Rail
The PS5
for
and PS4
for console. Yeah.
Is that Sci-Fi Genshin Impact?
Yeah,
It's
it's Persona
Genshin
Genshin
2.
Impact. It's Genshin Impact, but in
Mm.
space with turn-based RPG mechanics. That's basically what they did. They were like, yeah,
Cool.
They said we can double dip in the gacha gaming market,
yeah.
and it worked.
Yeah, go
I
figure.
want. I don't know. We'll see. I've not really seen anyone talk about it though. That's the thing. Although I don't
I've
see
read
people
its
talk.
name a bunch, but I didn't know what it was until Kyle said the studio's name there.
Yeah, Hoyoverse. I'm just going to Twitch. I was like, is it anywhere? Can I see it? And not really, from the looks of it. I can't find it anyway. Maybe it's all there, but I don't see
It's not real.
Genshin either. It's not real. It can't hurt us.
It's finally gone.
Hooray!
We did it. Video games are over.
Oh no, there it is. 4.5k
Ah, fuck.
viewers. 4.5k. Oh, and Genshin has 7.6. It's fell off already, boys. Hooray! Give us that boost.
We were so close, Ethan. Why'd you have to keep digging?
I'm sorry. I just had to, dude. I just had
Video
to.
games could have been over.
You know
Yeah.
not the matters you trifle with.
Yeah, that's crazy. God, what else can I say? What fucking predictions do I have? I think we will get a Hellblade trailer at the Xbox showcase that gives us a window for release, and I think it'll probably be late 2023 and it'll be pushed to 2024 later in the year. I think that they're going to do three things. They're going to give a date for Forza, obviously. They're going to cement that Starfield is coming out in September. They're going to hold to that, and then they're going to say that Hellblade is coming late, and that's their three big games for this year.
And then they're gonna push. Senua's Saga because they just couldn't live with Starfield being the third best Xbox game to come out this year.
Either that, or they'll do the Marvel Studios release schedule bonanza where they just push everything back one. Where they're like, okay, Starfield now takes Hellblade's date. Hellblade goes to 2024 and takes whatever date that was originally. I wouldn't be shocked. But I don't know.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice to see that game with a date because I feel like
it's been in death forever.
It got announced forever ago. Yeah.
It got announced in like 2020 or 2019. It was long
2019
ago.
at the Game Awards.
Yeah, it was ages ago. It was like the first Xbox Next Gen game that they announced was something stupid. And it was like, wow.
Because then they showed their stupid console after it.
Yeah, that was it. That was crazy. It's been way too long. I think we're seeing it.
Yeah, and I'll be excited to see when it comes out, whenever that may be.
Same.
I'll re-up my Game Pass subscription for that one.
Oh, good for you. I've still got one till 2025. What a shame. I've not played anything on it. Anyway, Hunter, you got anything?
Let's see what else I have. A Dragon Age Dreadwolf trailer. Hunter will be cautiously optimistic.
Don't do that. Fucking hell. You see what they did in Mass Effect a couple of years ago? Jeez, I can't temper those expectations.
I know,
that's a good one.
But I want it to be good. I think it kind of needs to be good for BioWare's sake. And Dragon Age historically brings the goods when Mass Effect can't.
Or it'll be the opposite, and it's like Mass Effect will be their last shot. Like that, I think. The thing with BioWare right now is they've got Dragon Age, and then it's like literally after that, it's like if that game is also bad or not hitting the same way that Mass Effect 2 and even 3 did. People hated the ending of 3, but they still were fairly positive on release. I think it's BioWare will be in a bit of trouble, to be honest, because
like if Dreadwolf is as good as Dragon Age Inquisition was, that'd be fine.
I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, like
to be honest, I think there is more pressure on that next Mass Effect game than there is on Dragon Age, because I feel like Dragon Age just has to meet expectations, whereas I think EA is expecting big things from the next Mass Effect, which
as long as Dragon Age isn't like bad, I think they'll be, because like having that be good at least to be like, oh, we have a little bit more faith in BioWare again now, because the only thing they've done in the past couple of years was make the ports for the trilogy of Mass Effect games, right?
Yep.
That was the last. That was the last thing that they've done since Anthem.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Yep.
which came after Andromeda. Yeah, so
Yep.
yeah, so you know,
What a great
hopefully
lineup that they had, dude. They went from Andromeda to
I
Anthem.
can't believe they boondoggled that so badly because Inquisition was like that was 2014 wasn't exactly an explosive year for video games. But Inquisition was like stand out for a lot of people in that year. So I can't believe it got scuffed up so badly with their trajectory after that. But I hope it's good. I remember seeing things months back about how they're switching up. It's going to be more of like an action RPG or whatever. And I was like, you know, to be fair, given that they said it was going to be kind of like God of War, like
Yeah.
the modern God of War thing with, I'm like, I'm more down with the RPG mechanics in an RPG game with God of War's combat than I am with God of War's combat having the RPG mechanics where they don't
Yeah,
belong.
Definitely.
So, you know, that wouldn't hurt my feelings because Dragon Age's combat's been weird in every game in some respects. There's a lot of the way it changes from game to game is a bit strange each time. So my feelings aren't going to be too hurt about that. It's a matter of if they can present me a cool story and the characters and all that, I'll be pleased.
Yeah, fair enough. Kyle, have you already ran out of predictions, or did you want to?
My final
Different-
prediction is
okay.
that Jeff Keighley's show is going to go on for too long and could be trimmed down by an hour.
That's a good
But
prediction.
that's just a given at every Jeff show.
Yeah.
That's
Do you want? Does anyone else want to place a guess on how much wasted time will be at the Jeff Keighley show? I'm out of 2 hours. I'm thinking 45 minutes minimum. I'm thinking probably.
At the bottom of my list here, I have at least 12 war crimes.
Oh,
God.
good. That's a good war crime
You
count.
only had like 3 at the Game Awards, Hunter. Calm down.
Yeah, but that was like the best game awards of all time.
That was
like-
the best game awards in the past several years.
I remember
I'm
we
sure
were-
if
we were
keeping
going
a
into
war
it ready
crime
to beat
tally
it
for the
up.
previous
Yeah.
year,
Truth.
we would have had much more.
We went into it ready to beat
2020's
it up,
Game
and we
Awards
came
didn't have
out
Hades
pleasantly
2.
surprised, bro. Yeah. It's
Well,
very
next year's
disappointing.
Game Awards might not have Hades 2, Hunter.
Yeah, and it's not going to be as good as last year's then, obviously.
How many more
Duh.
predictions
This
do you
is
have?
a weird
Hunter?
bar to measure the quality of things.
Yeah, he's just a fanboy. Ignore him. How many more
Okay.
predictions do you have?
Let's see. All right, here's one.
Well, no, I know. I'm
saw
just asking how many
stupid-
because I can go next. But I'm just
Oh,
asking how
I've
many
got,
you've got.
I've got like 2 left. Yeah.
Well, I've got a couple of Xbox ones that I'll just chuck out if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Hold your breath for this one, boys. You ready for this one? Hollow Knight Silk Song. No date, just gets another
Real or
trailer at the
not
Xbox
real?
show. Yeah,
Show
he'll get a
again.
trailer at the Xbox show because it's coming with day one with Game Pass.
Oh my
You'll
God.
just get another trailer. Like they'll just
It'd
confirm
be
it
funny if it was
exists.
the same trailer from last year.
Because confirms it exists because you kiss on the cheek and walks away into the sunset like it will. There you go.
That's your head.
I think Double Fine's next game will probably get announced. And I think it'll be something weird and something small. I watched the documentary for Psychonauts 2, and they showed a game in their Amnesia Fortnite where they do like little 2-week stints where they just make a couple of games. There was this very weird game that was about making clay like kind of jugs and stuff like that and fighting each other to the death and pouring water all over everything and doing random shit. And they said that it was a really fun game idea and they'd hold it in the back. And that guy is now all of a sudden a game director at Double Fine. So I'm putting my prediction that this weird jug water multiplayer video game thing, weird quirky creation, is announced at this conference. That's my prediction on Double Fine.
Conceptually, that sounds like it could be a fun little time like Gang Beasts or something.
It's called Kiln, I believe, was what the code name was called
nice.
for it. But yeah, you kind of played as these wisps that would which would basically take control of these jugs, and you'd grab water from people's and fill it up, and it was a very like Tower Defense kind of like fighting thing with swords and all sorts. It looked like fun. But yeah, so that I guess that one. You got Hollow Knight Silk Song as well. Here's the one that I don't think is gonna happen, but they say Bandai Namco, so here we go. Scarlet Nexus 2, baby. It's time to be disappointed.
Oh, that'd be funny. Oh man.
And I hope for my own sanity it's day one with Game Pass, bro. That's my sanity, hope and plea. Because fucking hell, I can't pay for it again. I can't do it.
I mean, you don't have to
can.
pay for it. I don't think you have to play it.
Yeah.
You didn't
It's
like
like,
the other
I
one
feel
enough
like
to
it's the
just.
equivalent of paying my taxes, though. I feel like I have to.
Why?
Because the first
I
one
like
was
how
so
Scarlet
miserable.
Nexus apparently occupies the same slot in Ethan's video game catalog as Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, basically. It's
There's only been one Scarlet Nexus.
Scarlet Nexus
I
is the
know.
anime equivalent of Assassin's Creed. Dude, that's what it is. But I don't know. It's been a couple of
That'd be
years.
pretty
I feel like they will make another Scarlet Nexus. I feel like
It
they
seemed
will.
like it did pretty well for
Yeah.
itself when it came
Yeah.
out.
Especially on
As an anime.
Xbox, because you know it went to Game Pass and all that jazz. So I wouldn't be surprised if it showed up at one of these events, like genuinely.
If they make a 2, I really hope there's only one campaign, and I hope
If
it's
they
just
make a
half
2,
the
I really
length.
hope it's better. That's my hope. Like genuinely, please be better. Don't be 50
Please be
hours.
shorter.
Yeah, please. I'm begging you.
I'm not asking you to be better, just shorter.
No, I'm asking you to be better and shorter. That is my hope. Please, for the love of God. Anyway, on to what next one. Those are my Game Pass predictions of
one
shame.
thing I had was Ubisoft's stupid Avatar game's going to be a Keeley's thing because
They do have, well, you know, they do have their own conference.
Oh, well, whatever. I'm not.
It'll be at
I
one of
wasn't
them.
factoring that into my predictions, so it's going at Keeley's thing because Keeley loves his movie crossover hoopla, and Ubisoft loves to deliver very bland video games. So doing that with a bland IP just seems to be
A win.
A
yeah, it
match
just
made
seems
in heaven.
it just seems to be a big old cake of cardboard for Keeley's show there.
Dude, it's like looking at these other things. Because, like, you know, Sega's at the show. I'm kind of assuming that that's Persona, but it could be anything else. Like, Sega, you know.
Dude, it could be Sonic the movie 3.
Like a Dragon, the man who erased.
No,
his
that's a
name.
great one. Yeah, I think that'll show up. No, that's going to show up at what they're having their own conference, aren't they? Rio, whatever that
Are
Kotaku Studio. Yeah, they're having their own little thing.
Man.
They'll announce
I
that
don't
there.
know anything.
There'll probably be some Sonic shit. That'll be my guess. There'll be some Sonic shit. You know, remake. Do a remaster of Sonic Heroes. Bet, bro. I fucking love to play that game at a decent frame
This
rate.
is where they reveal the Jet Set Radio revival.
It's a good shout. Crazy Taxi or something, you know, just
Oh,
go
yeah.
balling. To be fair, if P3 Remake's going to be announced at Xbox, I wouldn't be surprised that Jet Set Radio also shows up because it was in the same leak, so that wouldn't make make some sense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked. I will also say for Jeff Keighley's show, there'll be at least one celebrity cameo that no one asked for, like The Rock last year. Like, I think that there'll be
Enjoy your
something.
gaming.
I don't know if it'll be Enjoy Your Gaming, but I think I think it'll be equivalent to The Rock or Al Pacino, one of the two. We'll see which. But there'll be some tragedy there. What was your final one, Hunter?
Oh, this is more of a sarcastic remark, but Hunter will be unimpressed with the Mortal Kombat gameplay that they say is going to be there.
How dare you, dude?
It sure would help if they didn't look like dollar store designs of the characters.
Dude, did you sign up for the online stress test?
Not a chance.
All right.
Yeah,
I didn't either because I don't like Mortal Kombat.
If I play this game, it'll be via someone else who owns it, and I'm hanging out with them. Or if we're about to hit another number on the YouTube, I'll be like, hey, 225, I'll buy Mortal Kombat. But
You heard it here first, folks. 225.
We'll wait to see what it looks like, what the YouTube count looks like in September.
Anyway, I've got two final ones, I guess. Well, I don't remember what was one of them. I was looking at the names and I was like, I've got one for them. I don't remember. Let's hope it comes back. Anyway, that was it. I've got it. Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom, whatever, Liberty will probably get a trailer and a date. And then that'll be sad because that means that approximately like 3 weeks beforehand, I'll finally play Cyberpunk 2077. I've put off it for a couple of years, guys, but
Oh,
it'll
man,
probably
just
be
go
time.
right into the DLC.
Think
Yeah.
about it this way: you can finally watch that Tim Rogers video.
Oh, hell yeah, can't wait. I mean, if it's anything like the DLC for Witcher 3, it will be the best part of the game, and it'll also be post game, so I'll have to finish
just
it.
skip
so
the other
Yeah.
part. Oh,
no, you
have
can't
to
skip
play
it
the
because
rest?
you have to play it. It
Lame.
integrates,
No.
yeah. It
You
integrates.
should
It's
just
not...
be able to. You should be able to punch a ticket, being like, "I watched the Netflix show. Let me skip the game and play the DLC."
The Netflix isn't an adaptation. It was a spin-off. It was like a prequel or something. I don't know. I don't know the lore.
I don't know
All I
how
know
it
is Edgewood
relates
was
to the
apparently
game.
very
I
good.
saw the show and it was all right, but
And
did not inspire me to play the game.
I've got to save my final prediction for the greatest game to ever release and ever will release, obviously. And my final prediction is there will be a Crash Team Rumble trailer, and everyone will be like, "Wow, what an incredible game! I can't wait to play it on June 30th." I don't fucking know when it comes out. When's it coming out?
20th, I think.
Oh,
it's before.
We're so close. I can hardly believe it. It is.
It's before Final Fantasy 7.
When's Final Fantasy
16.
7? 16. Fucking hell. Which
16
Yoshi
is the
P had-
22nd.
Yoshi P had it's 23rd.
It's the 22nd.
It comes out on a Thursday?
It's the day before my birthday.
Why is it Final Fantasy coming out? I'm looking this up. Why is it coming out?
It comes out on June 22nd, Ethan.
Final Fantasy 16.
Well, that's cool.
Is that in Japan? Are we getting attacks, bro?
And...
I'm checking this shit, dude. I'm not trying to say I don't believe
Crash
you.
Team
Oh my
Rumble's on
God.
the 20th.
You're right. It's on a Thursday. Fuck.
I know I'm right. Ethan, it's the day before my birthday. You think I don't have this date committed to my memory?
No. I don't have the... So it's coming out on the 20th then, Crash Team Rumble?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. One final trailer. They'll confirm that Spyro's in it. That's my prediction. They'll confirm that Spyro's in the game.
Is Crash Suit Guy gonna harass Jeff Keighley?
I fucking hope so.
God, I hope so.
I hope so.
That'll be the 40 minutes of wasted time in his presentation.
If that was the 40 minutes of wasted time in his
that'd be so
that would be
just
the best
love-
presentation he ever made.
Dude, I would
It would
love
be.
if like Activision has so little faith in it that after every single world premiere they just come back and it's always Crash and Jeff Keighley on the stage, and Jeff Keighley's like, "What did you think of that, Crash?" And then Crash is just like, "It looks good, but not as good as
Wow.
Crash Team Rumble launching on PS5 and Xbox Series X on June 20th, guys." Spyro's in it, am I right? Wow. But yeah, there'll probably be I wouldn't be shocked if Activision is a part of it. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Crash Team Rumble. I also wouldn't be surprised if they announce whatever the Call of Duty game's coming out this year. Because remember when they said they're going to take a year off? That was a lie. They turned the DLC into a full game and called it Modern Warfare 3. So that's funny.
Cool.
So yeah, 2023, everybody. Modern Warfare
Woo.
3.
Activision lied. Who would have guessed?
I think it's really
I
funny,
can't
actually.
believe it.
I think
I
there's
can't believe it.
there's some kind of irony, because if anybody knows the history of the original Modern Warfare trilogy, you had Modern Warfare 1 and 2, and then at the end of Modern Warfare 2, the entirety of Infinity Ward, basically, a lot of the team left and formed Respawn, which made Titanfall and Apex Legends. Because of the falling out, which led to Sledgehammer Games making Modern Warfare 3, and then becoming a studio that worked on Call of Duty. And now we've got the Modern Warfare Modern Warfare trilogy. You had Modern Warfare 1 and 2, and Sledgehammer was making an expansion for Modern Warfare 2, which they have now turned into a full game called Modern Warfare 3. So they've ended up doing the exact same thing. History has
All they know
repeated
how
itself.
To do is repeat the same
Yeah.
pattern.
Yeah, the exact same pattern, which is kind of funny. I can't wait for that. Means that we've got at least another 5 Call of Duty Black Ops games coming as well. I love history, dude. It's great fun. Imagine
Ooh.
Treyarch coming up with a unique idea. That'd be crazy. But no, alas,
Let's see
Does
if
that
they
mean we
learn how to use Roman numerals this time.
dude, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Dude, it's only so many. I'm just saying this. It's only so many years till they go back to jetpacks, and I honestly can't wait, because controversial opinion, it was more fun with the jetpacks, guys. It was more fun. Just saying. It's fun to fucking fly up in the air and do 360 no scope. So what can I say? It's more fun. But yeah, I don't know if I have any other predictions. It'll be a fucking boring fest. There'll be one surprise that no one asked for. There'll be a logo for a company, and everyone will get excited, and it's something that they don't want, and they'll cry. That's my guess.
I mean,
Exoprimals.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, there'll be an extra promo.
Yeah.
There'll also be something where Jeff will use...
Imagine no Resident Evil DLC and Exo Primal gets a trailer. My God.
Oh,
Dude,
man.
I also think
Dude,
there'll
imagine dinosaurs
an...
falling out of the sky in Resident Evil 4.
That'd be sick.
That'd be.
I'd love it.
You see, I'd be down with that.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
No, there'll 100% be, and I'm saying this right now, there'll 100% be something where Jeff will say something along the lines of, well, I'm really excited for the next world premiere, guys. It's something that we've all been waiting for a long time. Here's the beloved entry in a fan favorite franchise, and it's something
Are
no
you
one's
doing
fucking...
Donald Trump to speak as Jeff Keighley?
No,
Why?
Donald Trump's like this, guys. I don't know what I'm talking about. Fine, Donald Trump will come out and go, guys, Jeff's got an immaculate exclusive for you right now, dude. He's got an absolutely immaculate. You know, I was saying to myself,
That's too big of a word for his vocabulary.
an immaculate, it's a very big exclusive for you guys. You know, Jeff was talking to me behind the scenes, and I was like, Jeff, there just isn't as good an exclusive as this one. I think it's the best exclusive you've ever had. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he's got nothing on this exclusive. I'm happy to announce Scarlet Nexus 2. And you're like, oh, fuck yeah. Game of the century, baby. Fuck yes. And then Crash comes out going, that's great, but you know what's better? Crash Team Rumble. And then the Chic Hydro bot comes out of his hibernation, and then we're like, yeah, Conference of the Year.
Oh my God.
And that is the Jeff Keighley Summer Game Fest experience, guys. Look forward to it on Thursday. Be there or have a better life. Your choice.
But how does Kojima fit into this?
Who knows? He'll just show up at
Via
some bread.
satellite.
Hi, Jeff.
Oh man. God, the show already drove us insane, and it hasn't even happened yet. I can't wait.
Every fucking year, dude. Every fucking year. This is the equivalent of paying the taxes for the podcast. Is you have to sit through a Jeff Keighley thing every 6 months. It's like, God damn. When will we learn?
I don't know.
Oh well.
When will Jeff learn?
I think he learned at the Game Awards. Like I say, last year's Game Awards was good.
See.
If he
We'll see if he really learned.
This year's Game Awards will genuinely be a testament, because if I think he did a great job last year, and if he matches it this year, then he's got a lock on what the Game Awards should be going forward. And if he fucks it up,
I actually look forward to the following year again after that, because there was a period of time where I was like, yeah, Game Awards, cool.
Yeah,
and then the pandemic happened, I guess,
and it kind of lost its footing for a little bit.
Just a tiny bit, but it's all good. Anyway, that's our show, everybody. Hope you enjoyed those predictions. Will they all come true? I can guarantee at least one of them will come true, and that is that Donald Trump will be there, and he will announce Scarlet Nexus 2 as the Chic Hydro bot dabs in the background and Crash Bandicoot makes some stupid joke. That'll happen. It'll happen. Believe me. You heard it here first. Anyway, links are on screen right now. You can go follow us on Twitter if you want to keep up to date with what we do outside of the podcast. I'm now in my head just contemplating, is that the intro bit? And how many people will that annoy? That's the real question. I can't wait.
Times like this, I kind of wish we had an animator on hand.
How many? I don't know. How many Donald Trump supporters do you think listen to this podcast? I don't know.
Do the demographics tell us that?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
If it's more than 10, I think we've done something wrong.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I would. I don't know. I don't know. We're not particularly political, but I feel like we've made our beliefs perfectly clear enough to the point where I feel like I know our audience enough.
I think we've scared them off.
Yeah. I think I've talked about how much transphobes suck enough for people to fuck off, dude. Yeah, I think we've made that explicitly clear, but who knows? Anyway, that's been our show. Thanks for listening, everybody. We do love politics on the show. We'll be back next week to talk about everything that happened at the Game Awards. Not the Game Awards, Summer Game Fest.
Begrudgingly.
The midterm Game Awards. And the Xbox party. Who knows? Was the Ubisoft showcase there where they show Assassin's Creed and Avatar: The Way of Water or whatever the fuck, I don't know. Dude, I really hope they don't want me to catch up on my Avatar.
I'm probably not gonna watch it.
You never know. I might be bored. When is it? Ubisoft forward. PC. Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. We're gonna be. We'll talk about that after podcast. It's fine. Anyway, that's it. We're done. See you next time. Thanks for listening. We'll be back for Tragedy next week. And then, oh god, yeah, we're getting close. I didn't realize that it was that week, so it's like, god, Final Fantasy's really close. Didn't realize. Anyway,
Sure is.
thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back next week for more shenanigans. But yeah, until then, have an awesome week. We'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya.
Toodaloo.